Good morning. Nick Asen here, my morning walk. I'm trying not to fall over because it's a bit slippery and muddy here, and I don't tend to wear normal walking shoes, put it that way. We've been talking about a whole range of different things which are the key drivers around the blockchain, the decentralization movement, and we've touched on democracy, we've touched on authoritarian and totalitarian states and structures. We've talked about capital market structures as an overhang from history, and also designed to keep people there, keep the thumb on your head. The concept of schuldig, which is the kleptocrats keep you in debt to them, and in a sense that's why the wealth gap, the inequality gap, is growing, because the rich get richer because they can deploy capital, they can build assets, do more things, and therefore the general population uses those assets and rents those assets, buys those assets, and I guess that's the way it's always been and will probably be for a while. But it's really the fundamentals of where we're going. I mean, there's a bunch of idiots, numpties, talking about Web 3 as the answer. They don't even know what Web 1 is and how it works. So what they're proposing is, and then you've got other people that think you can overlay a blockchain on top of the internet and make it much fairer. Create a whole new layer of blockchain naming services and different routing and overlay on IP and web addresses. No, they're not going to allow it. I mean, the internet is different, and it's government owned, it's license controlled, 80% of the equipment is US manufacturers. So there you go, that's all you need to know. And that's why they didn't want the Chinese manufacturers to get involved. I understand that. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about here is identity, isn't it? It's people's sovereign right over their identity, over their information, over their value, over their creativity. And it is a birthright. We should be able to control and own our identity. But the problem with the system is that they've taken that away from us, haven't they? They freely trade our information. They share it amongst themselves. Governments and large companies share it. The banks are the worst. And look at it, if you just ring up to pay a bill, so they know who you are. And what's the first question is, I need to take you through security. Why? I'm paying you. All you need to know that my money comes from a clearing bank, so therefore it's past AML, and I tell you my name, I tell you my account number, and I'm going to pay you. Why do you need my national insurance number? Why do you need all my other details? It's bollocks, isn't it? It's just complete nuts. And the whole concept is around, they want your data, and they're raping us of control over our identity. So that's the sort of formal authoritarian sort of part of how the system works. But then you have the social manipulation, the manipulation of human behaviours, which is what Facebook is very good at. They create feeds with knowing information is going to get under your skin, and they're so good they can turn families, communities, countries against each other. And God knows why they're allowed to continue and do what they do. And other social medias are, I'm a big user of LinkedIn, and I just use it for business purposes, but there's people trying to infiltrate it, and no doubt there's loads of fake accounts doing all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. But at the end of the day, it comes down to self-sovereign identity, control over things, control over your things, and being able to prove that you have ownership of things, being able to prove that what is out there is yours, and your decision to disclose what you feel comfortable disclosing. The concept of least disclosure. If I'm paying a bill, you just need to know, if I'm paying you, that it's me I have an account so I can be identified as a customer, and you just need to know they're cleared funds that have passed anti-money laundering. So if it's in the banking system, it's already done. You don't need any more. So I think it's time for people to say no to organisations. You know, there is obviously levels of sharing information for different purposes, but ultimately it's time for us to say no, and we control our data. And that's really the power of a decentralised world. Enables us to do some of that, but in engineering terms still can't do it. Talk soon.